Yes, that's me being arrested in Tarrafal de Santiago and Cabo Verde for charges I didn't know at the time, except that I was resisting arrest. This is my story of how I ended up there. 3 months ago, Wendy and I came to Tarrafal. When I checked out, I told authorities I was going to the next island of Mayo and not Dakar. Yes, that was not right, and I cheated, and I admit that. But I knew I couldn't go to Mayo with the engine in its condition. My plan was to go straight to Dakar from here, so my engine was having problems. As it was, my engine did have big problems midway from here to Dakar, sprung a leak, and ended up luckily getting to Dakar with my engine in the condition that I was able to fix it temporarily. My aim to get to Dakar was to rebuild my engine because I knew it needed to be done, which I did. I spent 3 months there having my engine rebuilt. In Dakar, my visa was only good for 3 months. My engine was just done and I had to go. On October 22nd was my last day. I had to leave the country of Senegal in order to come back in and redo a visa. I decided to go to Cabo Verde because Wendy was here and she was ready to come and travel with me. So I said, perfect. It would be a good test run for my engine. 3 days, I could pick up Wendy, turn around and go back to Senegal and travel Africa with my lovely Wendy. In Senegal, I was approached by 3 people who wanted to travel to Cabo Verde. 2 great little Frenchmen, 2 students, Paul and Gauthier, as well as Asahi, a fellow YouTuber traveling Africa by bicycle. I said, everybody can come, but you had to pay me a little bit of money, 150 euros each, to help pay for diesel and some extra costs that I had back in Dakar. In order to leave together, we all had to go to the police de port. I've got to go to the police today, and I'm going with Tafa, but I'm taking some extra precautions. Because Tafa drives fast, man. Or the port authority, police authority in Dakar. And there we all had to be present with our passports so that we had a legal stamp on our passports saying that we left the country.
So we're at the police station, going to do the exits.
The police authority was very kind over there in Dakar. They just stamped our passport, said bon voyage, and we all said goodbye and we left. They never gave us any paper of any kind that said that we exited the country, just a stamp on our passport, which is clear, that says we left the country, départ. As well, I asked the police if we could leave a couple days later because we needed to do some shopping and we were wanting to leave on Sunday and the police was closed at that time. They said, no problem, but you had a promise to leave, which we did. So on October 25th, Sunday, we left. On the way, we quickly stopped at the island of Gorée, which is the slave island, which is now a museum, and cleaned off the boat because Ahona told us that it was filled with seashells and it was slowing down the boat. 2 young men plus Asahi
I can't see anything.
scraped away at the boat.
Yeah, I was stung by a jellyfish.
Oh yeah,
a big jellyfish.
He got stung bad, man.
Then we set off. It was a long journey of 3 days. We did mostly motor for the first 2 days. Then the wind and waves picked up as we got near to Cabo Verde. We passed by the island of Mayo and changed our course to go in between the island of Mayo and Santiago because of the wind conditions, and sailed very close to the island of Santiago to get around the whole point in the Cape so that we could land safely in Tarrafal. It was approximately 9-10 o'clock at night. We were all exhausted, we made some food and went to sleep. Now we're gonna go to shore and check in. Okay, the crew's getting ready to go.
Yeah, finally.
The next morning, we all went to the Port Authority office that is here in Tarrafal and announced our arrival. They said, fine, but you need to go to Praia, the capital, for an international arrival. We said, well, it's very far. Is there any possibility we could do this another way, electronically or by email? And the gentleman there was very kind. He said, yes, I think maybe. Let me ask my colleagues. I'll get back to you. The four of us went to have lunch, and just after lunch, a police officer came to see us with 2 pickup trucks full of police and asked us to get into the cars. They took us to the jetty here in Tarrafal, and the police officer said they wanted to go aboard my boat. When we got in my boat, one officer in particular said that we had done an illegal entry into the country and an illegal exit out of the country. I showed him my papers, showed him everything was in order, but he refused to accept it. It was a very difficult time there. He was grilling me hard, like I had done something wrong, and I felt I did nothing wrong. So, after about an hour here on the boat, they took us back to the police station. At the police station there, we waited for several hours and hours waiting for some kind of response. The police captain, which I'd known from previous visits here, and started saying that I had done an illegal entry, an illegal exit. They just wouldn't accept that our passport had just been stamped and we didn't get some kind of document or paper. They said that we were supposed to have some document or paper we never got. They refused to accept that. I asked them to call the police in Dakar and ask for themselves if they didn't believe me. Every time in the past that I checked into Dakar, I never had to show a paper or any stamp on my passport because they never looked or asked for it before. So that's why I didn't worry, but they refused to accept that. Then they said that I didn't pay my boat tax in Dakar, which I had. I showed them the paper and they said, yes, but there's 1 month missing. And I said, well, you didn't turn over the paper to see. I had paid everything. I had done everything right. It really felt like they were fishing for something that had done wrong. Finally, they found it. They said, oh, but you left the country illegally. You went directly to Dakar. And I said, yes, I did. I had engine problems, and I was going to Dakar because it's the best place to go. I just couldn't stay here. So I agreed. Then we waited again. It seemed like hours. We waited, all of us. And they held our passports. The Frenchmen were pretty nervous because they had to continue on their journey. They're doing a world tour by hitchhiking, and Nasahi, the Japanese guy, is riding around on his bike. They all held our passports. Then the police said that they wanted to go to Praia, on board my boat, at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a 35-mile trip. It'd be at least 7 hours if everything goes right. I really don't recommend that because I'm exhausted from sailing the past 3.5 days. Haven't slept right, haven't eaten right, and my boat had a couple issues to fix before going. As well, we had to fill up with fuel because we spent a lot of fuel coming here. And then the police said, well, we'll go tomorrow morning. You can come here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then we can all leave tomorrow morning. I said, well, okay, but you have to calibrate my autopilot. My autopilot needed to be calibrated. Need to fill up with diesel, fill up with some water, some food for everybody to go. So we just can't just do things like that on a boat. It's not like getting into a car and driving away. And then this is when things turned bad. Because they said to me that, okay, we can go tomorrow morning, but you need to stay here with us overnight. And I said, why? I just want to go to my boat, go to sleep, take a shower, eat some food, and we'll meet on the boat, in the morning. They refused. Categorically refused. They said I had to stay here. But I just couldn't understand why. They would not give me a reason why. No reason whatsoever. No explanation whatsoever. And the 2 Frenchmen and Asahi could not get aboard the boat. They had to sleep on the street. It just didn't seem fair. It didn't seem right. I argued and argued until I turned blue. And I lost my cool. That's it. Let's go. You can't keep me from going to my boat. So we walked away.
They want us to go with the boat.
Yeah.
Alex don't want it at all. It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
And so we said, okay, it's a bad idea to go with the boat. We will go with the car.
When we got to the dinghy on the beach, the police were waiting. That's when things got hairy. They refused to let me get on my dinghy and get to my boat, still with no explanation. And then I lost my cool and kind of forced it. I even faked an accident and fell. It was a big mistake on my part because I fell on my rib cage and really hurt it. I think I bruised or broke a rib and it really hurt. Then that's when they said I resisted arrest, which I did in a way. So I don't argue. But I was screaming, just let me be on my boat. And as the footage shows it, they violently then threw me into the back of the pickup truck like a dog and brought me to the police station.
careful. He's 62. He's 62.
Hello, welcome to Galopin. These are our studios, man. This is where the magic happens. It's humble, but it gets the job done. It's because of the great people like you on Patreon who make this happen. This Living Adventure series. I hope you'll join our community. We've got some extra perks like live updates, news, photos, videos, and I've even taken a stab at writing some short stories which are not for general audiences on YouTube. And our friend Graham from Australia set up a WhatsApp chat to aptly called Galopin's Cockpit. Guys from all over have joined, and it's this community that's contributing to the continuation of this Living Adventure series. If not, you can always watch us for free on YouTube. Make sure to give us a like or a dislike, make a comment, make your opinion heard. I'll try to get back to you. Thanks for watching this episode of Voyage, a real Living Adventure series. It's not fake, baby.